What's going on, champs and champions? It's FireMonkey here. I know some people in the comments down below are going to think it's a little bit too early to be talking about Chapter 6 Season 1 when we just started Chapter 2 Remix. However, in today's YouTube video, we have a lot of information regarding the upcoming Chapter 6 map, including the map codename, me apparently mantling on everything around us. We also have to talk about some different bios, what the theme is going to be, some other things that should be expected to be returning or be releasing during this time, and much, much more. So let's just kind of dive into everything you need to know regarding Chapter 6 Season 1 of Fortnite Battle Royale, which will be launching in early December, around December 1st to December 2nd, maybe even December 3rd, depending on when Epic Games does like the live event for the end of Chapter 2 Remix. So firstly, the first bit of information we have is from Lulu World and Windsowing over on Twitter, who mentioned exclusively that Chapter 6 Season 1 will be themed around samurais and Japanese mythology, meaning that if you're someone who likes the Japan mythology, you like stuff like samurais, you like kimonos, cherry blossoms, that type of stuff, this is going to be the season that you're going to be wanting to watch out for, because Chapter 6 Season 1 is going to be themed around all that stuff. And of course, this type of seasonal theme has been rumored for a while. We've had survey concept art before, but nothing has ever been made from it, and now it appears we're getting a fully blown Japanese mythology themed season, which is going to be pretty cool to see as the launch of Chapter 6 Season 1. They also go on to mention that some biomes that are set to be included in this map are going to be shrines, rivers, plains, farmland, and forest biomes. So a lot of different biomes for us to actually, understand and kind of interact with. However, I think the most important biome out of all of these is shrines, because we haven't really seen any shrines in Fortnite since like the mega season all the way back like a chapter or two ago. But of course, that isn't the only bit of information we have, because there actually is some interesting stuff. So this next leak comes from me in Lulu World, and it's the codename for the Chapter 6 Fortnite map. If you guys have followed along, for the previous Fortnite maps, we've had names like Athena, Apollo, Artemis, and then we got new ones like Helios, for example, when we started going into like Chapter 5. Well, the Chapter 6 map is going to still go under that H codename, with Greek mythology kind of being mentioned in it, and this time it is going to be codenamed Hermes. There's also said to be an additional area that wasn't originally leaked, known as a wetlands area, that is included in the Hermes map. We're not for sure if that's going to be in Chapter 6 Season 1, but it should be in Chapter 6 eventually. So that's kind of something to keep your eyes out for, but the official codename for Chapter 6's map is now Hermes. For example, stuff that's been going on with Fortnite recently, this map right here, it technically uses the older codenames of Artemis, Apollo, all that type of stuff, but the actual mode codename is Clyde. However, we've had the recent chapters and stuff having their maps themed around Greek mythology with letters of H's in them instead of letters of A's like we had in the first few chapters, so it is interesting to kind of see that. Next up, we have another leak from Windsowing, Lulu World, and Blortzen over on Twitter, which mentions that augments are set to be re-returning in Chapter 6 Season 1. For those who don't remember augments, this was something that you would slowly obtain during your matches that would give you special effects. It could be things like balloons appearing on your back every 30 seconds, it could be other things such as getting siphoned whenever you deal any damage with a shotgun, and stuff along those lines. It was stuff that you'd be able to actually select during matches, however, and it gave Fortnite Battle Royale a little bit of like a roguelike aspect. However, it got removed when we started getting other stuff like weapon mods and vehicle mods in the game, and it appears that they're now going to be making it re-return for the brand new Fortnite season or the brand new Fortnite chapter. Will it stay permanently? We don't know, since in the past Epic Games planned to bring back augments in the same season we got like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collaboration, and then decided last minute to be like, actually, we're not going to end up bringing these back. But if they do go through with fully returning these, it will include augments such as Agile Mending, Headshot Hunter, Healthy Pouncer, Revealing Revealer, and Vehicle Modifier. Now, we're not for sure what all these would do, however, I would assume that something like Headshot Hunter would make it so that whenever you do a crit damage to someone, so you shoot them in the head, it will do a little bit of a multiplied damage bonus instead of the normal multiplied damage bonus from a headshot, right? So if I headshot them with a shotgun, for example, and it does, let's say, 20 damage, maybe with that multiplier from the augment on, it's going to actually end up doing 30 damage or 25 damage, something along those lines, to make it just deal a little bit more damage, assuming that you're accurate enough to actually pull off those headshots on enemies. Something like Vehicle Modifier could be a way to make vehicle mods a thing, once again, without having them being something you actually throw onto your vehicles or anything, by making an augment that when you have equipped, every single time you get in a vehicle, it might have a random modifier on it, whether that's a turret, whether that's random wheels, whether that's like a cow catcher or something, we don't know, but it would be a nice way for them to have the vehicle modifications still exist in the game through this whole entire augment system once again. They could even do stuff like the lowrider vehicle mod that we currently have in this season and make it a randomized thing that you could get once you have vehicle modifier actually equipped as an augment. Keep in mind, however, these aren't the official names for these augments when they're in game. These are just the codenamed versions, which typically tell us a little bit more information about what to expect than your normal like actual name would actually tell you, right? So it actually does give us a little bit more of a glimpse than if we knew the official name it would be called in game. Next up, we have even more leaks from Windsowing and Lulu World regarding this brand new, season, Chapter 6, Season 1, and it mentions that a new mechanic called Void is set to be added. It's being referenced in a few things such as Void Shields and Void Junk Rifts, which could also mean Junk Rifts are going to get unvaulted, but we currently don't know how this Void aspect is going to switch up how shields work in the game, like big pots, and how it's going to switch up how like a Junk Rift works in the game. Maybe it has like a special effect or something, maybe it's literally just that, right? A special effect that looks visually pleasing in game. Maybe it gives you something like low gravity effects or something, or in the past we've had like a dash effects where you're able to kind of like double tap the spacebar to dash forwards. Maybe it's something like that. All we really know is that they're working on this new mechanic and trying to play around with the Void a little bit more in Chapter 6 Season 1. And then the most recent leak, which I actually think is pretty interesting, is a new cat-like animal named Sprites being set to release in Chapter 6 Season 1 as well, with different elemental themes being air-themed, water-themed, and basic-themed. These sprites will have their own entire unique voice lines and expressions. They are set to be related to that upcoming Shrine's POI or location on the map, and they're going to be able to say their goodbyes, quote-unquote, when they're near these shrines. What this makes me think is that the shrines are actually going to be related to different themes, like air shrine, water shrine, a basic shrine, or maybe like an earth shrine or something like that, and you'll find these sprites over there in those locations that may be able to give you like a buff or something, or maybe it works like the little mushroom pal we've had before, where you're actually able to hire it and have it follow you around for a little bit of time and gain a little bit of a benefit from it. We don't know exactly how it's going to work, but it is interesting to hear that they're cat-like animals, so I'll leave that as today's question comment of the day. What do you think's going on with these shrines? And what do you think this means for Chapter 6 Season 1? Because it seems like they've got a lot of interesting mechanics they're planning to use early on. They're going to be having these shrines, they're going to be having sprites, we're going to be having some void mechanic, we're going to be having a whole entire Japanese mythology type of theme going on with samurais and stuff. Maybe the kinetic blade returns in some form, or just a katana in general, we don't know. And it definitely feels like they're going to go full force with Chapter 6, at least at the start, right? So it gives us a lot of stuff to kind of keep our eyes peeled for, and I thought I'd go ahead and just make a quick little video, recapping all the information, because it has just been kind of slowly dropping on Twitter over the past week or so, right? After people have kind of gotten bored of the season, people have looked in the files a little bit more, and every time they look more and more, it appears we're just finding out more stuff that Epic Games is planning to do. Okay, maybe I'm not bad with aiming, but more stuff Epic Games is planning to do in the near future, instead of stuff they're planning to do right now in Fortnite. So if you enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing to support the content I create. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and until tomorrow, peace out.